Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Rachel.
Welcome to LeisureBit, and today we're coming to you from Church Holme campsite, which is in the village of
Danby Wiske
in North Yorkshire. Let's go and check it out.
LeisureBit is the way to go with David, Rachel and Roxy. Let's hit the road and explore.
We pick up our journey on the A167 between Darlington and Northallerton, not too far from Northallerton, and we're going to take a right-hand turn in the direction of Danby Wiske. When we come to the end of the road, we want to take a right-hand turn. Here's where we cross the East Coast main railway line. We're now arriving into the village of Danby Wiske. After we've passed the pub and the village green, we then make a left-hand turn and head down towards the church and the campsite.
Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely.
And here we are at Church Holme campsite.
Tip for you, on arrival you need to turn left here towards the church, and the first left, it's where the ice cream sign is.
When we arrived there was no one in the shop, but our leaflet and information was pinned to the wall, so I grabbed it and then headed back to the van to find our pitch.
Where are we today?
We're at Church Holme camping, and we've got the information, and we're on either pitch 2 or pitch 4.
It was nice to have the choice of pitches. We chose pitch number 2.
And here we are at Danby Wiske. It is a small campsite. It's mainly grass and is here predominantly for people doing the coast to coast walk. There is one hard standing pitch and the rest are grass.
We're on a pitch number 2. There's electrical hookup available if you need it. We didn't go for electrical hookup this time because the weather's nice, and it's just right near the church, which is just behind us there.
There's a chemical disposal point and a water tap for cleaning your toilet, drinking water, waste and recycling. I found the chickens now. They've come outside for a bit of fresh air because the sun's got his hat on. I think I'm the chicken whisperer.
Now let's check out the main facilities area.
There's an extremely well stocked games room, little soccer sets, 3 rocking horses. I always wanted a rocking horse when I was a kid. Chalkboards, table tennis table, and all of these different board games. Scrabble, frustration. I used to love frustration when I was a kid as well.
Handy if you're bored. Look at all of those.
All of these are here for you to borrow while you're here on site. There's a really old tractor here. Do you think if I got a trike, Roxy would go in the back of it? There's a chicken coop.
I think you can get the eggs as well. Isn't that cracking?
The showers and toilets on site too. Let's take a quick look. And a separate shower and toilet. They're actually really clean and well maintained as well. That's good. This is really good. There are poo bags and a dog poo bin too. I like that idea. This is the camping kitchen. There's a big table, fridge, freezer, microwave, washer, tumble dryer. It's brilliant. It's even got tea and coffee.
Help yourself to a cuppa, milk, tea and coffee, and hot chocolate 70p, and you can have it with a biscuit for £1.
Look at this. Spare chargers.
Now they would come in handy at times, wouldn't they?
Look at this walker's sharing box. So if you've got excess stuff, it's got things like chewing gum, sanitizer and etc. You just pop it in the box, and if somebody needs it, they go and take it. How good's that? You can use the washing machine at a cost of £3, and that includes detergent. And it's £3 for a 60-minute dry as well. Bargain. They've also been nominated as one of the best certified sites. They've even got their own Church Holme campsite mugs. How cool. And postcards.
Lovely picture of the coast to coast. Breeds of sheep. A really handy table in the middle for you to sit at. Perfect if the weather's a little bit inclement. There's some information on the wall here about the old station.
Up until 1958, Danby Wiske had its own railway station. It was really busy and very popular. At its peak, it had up to 10 trains a day, and it was built from 1884. Unfortunately, the train station closed in 1958. There's a brilliant children's playground that is literally just a second from the site, and it was opened in 2018. There's also a field behind it which is owned by the village committee, which opened in 2019.
And here's the children's play area.
Plenty for kids to see and do here. You can spend hours in here. Go and take a look at the church now, because you can see it and the tower from the campsite. What's really interesting is this church doesn't actually have a specific name. Why doesn't it have a name? Well, because when the Scots raided the north, all of the records were lost. So nobody knew what it was called. Nobody gave it a name.
The church is Grade 1 listed, and it has a really cool history. It started as an early Norman church and then became part of an early English building. In the 14th century they built the north aisle and the chancel.
Let's go and take a look in.
Above the south wall there's a Norman carving from between 1090 and 1120. It shows a figure as if it was weighing a soul, reminding everyone about the Day of Judgment as they walk in.
It's got a big old Norman font for baptisms. There are Jacobean stalls with fancy carvings from 1640. And they also show the names of the church wardens from that time. Behind me is a statue of Matilda, and she was the widow of Brian Fitzalan of Bedale in around 1340. Look at the size of this behind me. It's a huge organ. The recently restored tower has 3 bells.
The church tower underwent a small restoration project in 2010.
I came across a fallen tree. I felt the branches of it looking at me. Is this the place we used to love? Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in.
Welcome to Danby Wiske. Pub open at 4 PM, church open daily, tuck shop and camping, house for sale there if you fancy it. It's only a couple of minutes wander to the pub, just along the path. Here's the village hall and the notice board with the events on at the village hall. Also a sign there, down the camping. There's some lovely houses in the village. It's a cracking little village. You can see the pub from here, the White Swan in Danby Wiske, and we're booked in there for tea this evening. Let's go and check it out.
The pub was a delightful local village pub which had a real character and atmosphere about it, very, very popular with walkers doing the coast to coast walk, and it had an interesting swan emblem on the window which fits with its name, the White Swan. What are you eating?
I don't know if we've been watching the
haven't you?
I'm
I'm having a chicken patty. The food was locally sourced and home cooked, and it was really delicious. We even treated ourselves to a pudding. There were a nice selection of books on the bookshelves, and to no surprise there was walking books. This one's one of my favourites. A Coast to Coast Walk by Alfred Wainwright. It even features the village in it.
Did you enjoy your tea, Rachel?
That was beautiful. It was really nice. There were some lovely people we were chatting to and learnt a lot about coast to coast.
Absolutely cracking food as well. It looks all homemade and locally sourced as well.
Do you like?
Oh, and don't ask for chips, eh, Rachel?
No, no chips. Potato. That's good.
Anyway, we'll crack on back to the van.
After we'd finished our meal, we headed back through the village to the campsite, where we settled in for the night. It was a beautiful evening. After a lovely peaceful night's sleep, we woke up and saw a sheep munching away at the hedge, just behind the van.
We're up early, as you can probably tell by my voice. Roxy and I are coming out for a little explore into the sheep field behind the van. She obviously has to be kept on lead because of the sheep. The ground is very dewy this morning. It feels actually quite autumnal for the first time since we've been out. Certainly got dark a lot lighter last night than before. But what a cracking little sight. I've had a lovely time. Don't know where the sheep have gone this morning. There was loads of them here yesterday. Oh, there's one. I can see one. Roxy, there's a sheep.
You can imagine if the dog was off the lead, this could have potentially been a Fenton moment.
It's great that you've got this field to come and walk in. Gives the dog somewhere nice to have a little stretch of legs. I don't think the sheep were impressed that we've come in to see them so early this morning. Roxy's found some nice stuff to roll in. Nice. Come on, you. I found a funny little gate system. I wonder if it's where they shear the sheep. There's a little tiny gateway here. It's only thin. Goes all the way along. Into this fatter bit. Into like a holding pen and out that gate.
I love the countryside. You can see the cows, all different colours as well. And also the birds on the power line there, tweeting away. Take a wander into the village, have a look round. It's the last day of meteorological summer today, Saturday the 31st of August. Looks like it's going to be a glorious day. Taking a quick explore to the left hand side as you come out of the campsite. Just see what's down here, as I think the remains of a medieval mound are down here. Take a wander now back towards the village of Danby Wiske. Danby Wiske gets its name from the river that runs through the village.
There's a planning application here for dogs to be able to use the field at the back of the playing field. It wasn't approved. It will remain a dog-free zone.
Isn't it a lovely village, Rachel?
It's beautiful. I've been looking on Rightmove to see how much they go for.
And how much do they go for?
Quite a bit. That little bungalow down there is just under 500,000.
Wow. You can see why though.
Oh,
Looks a
beautiful.
lovely place to live. Got the White Swan there where we had tea last night. It was delicious. Definitely recommend checking out if you're in the area.
Camping is allowed at the White Swan. It's £8 per night. It's an extra £3 for a campervan and £3 for electricity, and it is open all year round. Equally, they also do rooms as well for walkers.
When you get to the White Swan, it's just 60 miles left to go to Robin Hood's Bay. Just.
Look at me. I'm walking the coast to coast.
The White Swan is a favourite stop-off point on Wainwright's Coast to Coast walk. It was lovely chatting last night to some people who were doing the Coast to Coast. It marks 60 miles that way, over the bridge to Robin Hood's Bay, and 130 miles to St Bees. Have you ever done the coast to coast walk? I'd love to get your feedback. I always fancied doing it. Running under this little bridge is the River Wiske, which is a tributary of the River Swale.
How good is this? It's a free book exchange. It's really good.
There feels a real sense of community in Danby Wiske, which is fantastic to see. Even on the signs, you know, saying when the pub's open, about the little shop at the campsite, and just generally helping each other out. Isn't that brilliant? What a cracking little village, eh, Rachel?
Oh, it is beautiful, really beautiful.
Well worth checking out.
There's an extremely well-stocked shop in here. Ice cream, chocolate, drinks, sweets, ooh, local eggs and books.
Get your postcards. Isn't it brilliant? There's our little momentum of Church Holme.
How good's this? It is so well thought through. Look what I found. It works.
That's different, isn't it? A proper pump. Wow.
Tell you what though, I wouldn't want to fill my bath that way. It'll take hours.
Right, Rachel, let's get back to the van after another cracking stay.
Beautiful.
So Rachel, what have you thought of Church Holme campsite in Danby Wiske?
What a beautiful little place. The camping kitchen for people in tents and doing the coast to coast is just, it's unbelievable. Little tuck shop that's got an honesty box, it's got everything you could possibly want in it. Love the chickens, love the pub, brilliant people, nice atmosphere, loved it. What about you?
Yeah, it's an absolute cracking site. Really relaxing kind of feel and a beautiful village. As I said earlier, it's got a real sense of community in it, which is brilliant to see. Lots of people doing the coast to coast walk, and you know, it's a perfect stopover really. I think they must get a lot of trade in the campsite. Worth noting the kind of bottom section of the campsite's reserved for people in tents doing that sort of thing, whereas the top bit's the kind of certified location side of the campsite, which is the bit we're staying in. But plenty of people on there, and it was fantastic to hear the stories of how they were getting on. Absolutely brilliant. Something I'd always want to do, the coast to coast. So if you've done it, do tell us about it in the comments. How difficult was it? How much training do you have to put in and all that sort of thing? But absolutely brilliant, cracking campsite. I can fully see why it got nominated for CS of the Year. Absolutely brilliant. We would have no hesitation whatsoever in recommending it. Thank you for watching.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
And we will catch you for the next bit. Bye.
Yeah.